but I'm excited to see what this team brings to the table up against Oxygen, who've been up and down at times today, although they have won those matches that you would expect them to.
Yeah, this team formerly op-blocked the last time they were here in the regional. They have to go up against, I suppose, the final boss for them here in Oxygen. Like you said, it would be a great story for them to make it, but Oxygen, a team that's kind of wanting to redeem themselves after their last performance in the regional. And this is a team where I think a lot of people are going to expect Barrage to fall to Oxygen. I think it's up to Barrage to really show us what they got here in the first couple minutes.
Well, so far, it's Oxygen pushing into the corners, and Farah gonna let that ball drop here for Chaussette. Astral has popped off a couple of times today. He had that sick double ceiling double tap earlier, and this maybe he gets a shot there, but it's denied by Rise. So far, control belonging to Oxygen, while Barrage handle the barrage in the corners from Oxygen.
Yeah, they're holding on, and that's a great clear. They finally relieved some pressure from Oxygen, but you can already see here in the first minute the speed from Oxygen and just putting on that quick pressure from Barrage, and it broke down their defense for quite a bit of time. That's a big miss by Chaussette, and now Oxygen showing some holes in the armor here as Barrage set up for another attack.
They did get the ball out. I thought pulling off the first man would end up giving possession back to Oxygen, but they did recover. Around the corner, Owali goes, but Chaussette shadows him the whole way and safely takes the ball out of harm's way. Rotation for Barrage has been respectful, to say, but they found a quick pass on defense for Rise. Two demos and a goal for Owali. Oh, Barrage.
This was beautifully set up as well. That first touch uncontested, and you know you're in a tough spot. Any player that can bring the ball up into the air like that uncontested, they have a lot of options open up to them, and it's a great choice there for Barrage to put that one through. And I like to see them get this first goal, is what I was talking about. It feels like for a team like this, they've been on the fringe here a couple times in this regional, have to go up against this final boss. Striking first is exactly how you start off game one and this series.
Owali still forces more pressure against Chaussette. Oxygen's slow to get back to these balls, although Astral does a great job handling the ball out, beating two attackers, but they got it right back. Rise, his ball will be taken away by Chaussette. And now you see the confidence, and then immediately turning around was Owali. I thought he was going to go up and immediately challenge that ball, but they remain disciplined for now, Corelli. They've flipped the game from the first minute and have kind of taken over Oxygen.
Yeah, I like what they're doing, especially with these clears into space. Oxygen are giving up some holes in the midfield, and Barrage have taken advantage of just buying themselves some time and space by clearing into it. And they've put Oxygen on the back foot a couple times. So this series, I think, is going to be a bit closer, at least here in game one, than what people might expect.
Cynical couldn't keep the clear. Rise will be the next to try to force this ball out for Barrage. But Oxygen starting to get some consistent carries, really hammering that corner. Chaussette will not find the shot, blocked against Rise. Astral now stays on top of this. Farrell on the wing. He has a ball towards the net, but it will gently fall right behind Cynical. It was getting a little scary, though.
It's a little dicey there inside the box. Not the best clears coming out from Barrage at the moment. A lot of them going straight into an Oxygen player or just not far enough to clear their lines. As they are able to break out for now, the question is, can they set up an attack to break down the Oxygen defense, who, quite frankly, Jorby, haven't looked very strong here in the last few minutes of this game one.
It's definitely died. Like, that opening minute, I thought was really good. It was looking solid. Oxygen had locked down midfield. They were getting a couple of chances, but then Barrage, off of that Owali goal, it's died. And they haven't been able to, they get this hard clear, and unless they win this next challenge from Farrah's not even going to do that. He's going to go for the demo instead. He wasn't going to get back to the ball. But now it's a clear lane for Barrage to take another shot, and a ton of time wasted on the clock as well. Barrage putting their best foot forward in this do-or-die match to try to get to stage 2 in the regional. It looks really good right now in game 1.
Let's see if Barrage can set up another attack here. I like what I've seen from them as they break out. They do pick up the pace once they move over that midfield line as well. Oxygen have just struggled to put the ball away. They've put on 3 shots, and a few of them have been very dangerous. But that defense has been able to hold on for Barrage. The question is, can they hold on for another 15 seconds?
Ball long for Farah. Astral found him, but midfield, the game has been non-existent for Oxygen there. They get one more chance with Astral. As time expires, can Farah catch up to it? No. And Barrage will take the first game in this set.
So this was a really good game, I think, from Barrage. First of all, obviously because they won, but they were able to weather the storm. My question is, sometimes we see this, especially with teams like this Barrage team, we haven't really seen in RLCS before, aside from maybe that last regional, but in past seasons, haven't seen them too much. So a lot of times we do see teams, they kind of win out this close game 1, and then usually the team with experience kind of come through in the last few games and really pick up the pace. I think for Oxygen, they definitely know the temperature of Barrage now, and the question is really, can they start to pick up their gameplay and, quite frankly, put away the chances that they had here in this game? They had plenty to put Barrage down by at least a goal here.
Yeah, I don't think Barrage gave them any looks that they were not used to seeing or made things uncomfortable. I just thought that they got the better half of the positioning there and took advantage of Oxygen slow on their own back wall. So we'll see if they recover here. Oxygen, it's kind of been this with them today. Within a game or within a match itself, they play up and down. There are some games they play and you're like, wow, I don't know if the other team is going to come back and win this set. But then they never play. They never seem to play consistently game to game. And you just can never really get a read on Oxygen completely in this regional. So we'll see if they get squared back up. But I like how Barrage have started, and no better in this situation as Rise dives down on the double commit, but Awali picks up the save. Rise has a one-on-one with one-man shot set coming in behind him. Saved, though, and knocked away by Farah.
I think Rise might have expected a challenge there, or at least messed up a flick that he was going for. But here's a shot from Shastet. What a save from Rise! 2 touches to break out. Oh, he would clear it to the corner. Man, what a save, though, on the goal line inside of his own net.
They're still not done. Shastet had to sneak between 2 defenders to find a shot on net. Farah waiting on the side wall will take him out against Cynical. Still, though, Farah gets back to it. He's got Shastet downfield, and now coming in, you saw Astral streaming across just to keep Barrage honest on the goal line. They maintain possession. Shastet looking for Astral on the rebound, but it's taken away again by Rise. Starting to say his name a lot more often on defense.
Yeah, and great ball control from him as well. Barrage, one thing we really haven't seen from them is keeping Oxygen in their defensive third, and this could be the first time they do. That's a great block by Rise to just disrupt the clears. I think that's the next step here for Barrage, is how do you lock in this Oxygen defense? And that one's gonna go over Shastet's head, and it's a 1-goal lead again for Barrage.
Oh, how does this one end up going in? Shastet, he's already going back the other way, and he turned in before that challenge happened. He did not expect that ball to be shot right on top of him. And so he couldn't recover in time. Too fast of a shot. Great challenge from Awali that just turned into a goal.
And I am getting a bit concerned now for Oxygen. I know that one was a tough goal, and the first one in the first game as well was also one where I feel like Oxygen could have had the better of it. But now, once again, you find yourself down by a goal. You've had 4 shots in this game, a couple good looks, and give credit to the Barrage defense. But Oxygen still are sitting here scoreless, while Barrage somehow are finding a way to hit the target.
2 missed, but that might only be for their benefit. Barrage still get the ball in the orange half. If Rise finds the read, and he did. It'll be up here for Awali, and the challenge goes straight down to Cynical. Off the backboard, it's free for Rise to grab, but hopping up just in time was Astral. And now Oxygen are tight against their own back wall, having to constantly come back and defend balls like that. That one got away from the net this time, and they get along clear, but that's not the first or second time that ball has been so dangerously floated and across their net, where Oxygen just don't seem to have a response for Barrage's assault.
There's 2 demos there from Barrage as well, and I had talked about it a couple minutes ago, saying Barrage really do need to lock in Oxygen, and boy, oh boy, they have sent a message to Oxygen that they need to step it up right now. Oxygen need to find that next level because Barrage just seem to be getting better and better as this game goes on.
Astral with the attempted catch, but Chaussette, third man, came up to take a shot, and Ollie takes a save, but another one's coming. Farah, Astral, slows it down and dunks it right on top of Cynical. Does it give Oxygen possession still? Yes. Now Farah, back to Astral. The goal is good! Oxygen right back in it.
It has to be perfect from Oxygen because Barrage are just saving everything. And look at the placement from Astral here, left side, right off the post and in. And that's what it takes to break the defense of Barrage right now. 5 saves from Barrage on the 7 shots from Oxygen. You know that defense is going to hold up strong.
Rise forced to make a quick save off the kickoff. Oxygen feeling the energy from that last goal. Can they turn it into a second goal for a lead? Well, Barrage stop one attack and look to set up one of their own. Owali goes straight towards paint, but Chaussette will take the rebound, cutting off it slow. No, Barrage will not hang on to the ball. Astral takes it back. Oxygen, do they have a quick play? It's turned out again, Corellian. They're sent packing to the back wall. Chaussette needs a hard clear. He's going to get it.
It's just awkward for Oxygen right now. It just feels like everything Barrage does is just away from an Oxygen player, and it just makes them tough to stay with the play. And you're seeing 2 players go from Oxygen over and over again to stay with the play to either get the block or give the man on the ball an option, and it comes right back into their face. Barrage all over them right now. Oxygen need to figure it out.
Yeah, it has to be frustrating for Oxygen too, because keeping that second man close to the first man can work out eventually, but hold on a second. The rotation blown apart here by Oxygen. Somehow, Rise and Cynical found the gap.
2 players go on the first man on the ball from Barrage, which leaves 1 man in net. Cynical yeah. Saw the play all the way through and knew that he could beat that last man on the line. And that's really what we're talking about here. Barrage doing well to get past 1-2 players multiple times in a play, and it creates such a problem for the defense of Oxygen.
Not a lot of continuous touches either for Oxygen. And with a challenge like that from Cynical, it's certainly going to be hard to find any sort of touch onto the ball. Maybe a chance here, though, for Astral. No. Defense has cut off these long passes downfield. And Cynical, Wally got the goal. I was looking from far away at a different angle. It looked like that was Cynical's, but Owali gets it.
Oh, this is brilliant on the fake. Cynical so close to the ball and just lets it go. It's so hard for Chaussette to really read what's going to happen there. Even if Cynical does get the touch, I mean, who knows where he's going to put it. So for Chaussette, he really had to guess. And now a 3-1 scoreline in favor of Barrage. And they're looking at 1 more game to qualify over Oxygen.
I can't believe you just said that sentence. For a team, Owali, Cynical, Rise, I say, where have they been? The answer to that, Corelli, is this is the first time that they've been in this close of a position against a team that everybody was expecting going in. It's like, yeah, Oxygen, you know, it's been up and down and stuff, but they're killing it in the grid, and you know that they're going to be able to qualify here. Well, apparently not. Barrage are knocking at the door. Actually, no. They got a giant ram, and they're just throwing it into the door and bursting it down. Oxygen are literally about to get swept.
And I mean, through these 2 games, you know, I was a bit skeptical coming into game 2. What was Barrage really going to come out with in game 2? Because again, that's really where we start to see, you know, we separate the men from the boys at that point. And Barrage have just met every single mark all the way up the ladder here. And through 2 games, I have no doubts in Barrage now moving forward. They are the real deal. And they absolutely can take down this Oxygen Esports team. And it might even be a 3-0 at this point with the way they're playing.
I really like Owali and how he's been playing. He has been the striker finding the net most often for Barrage in this set, but Rise as well on defense, Corelli. I feel like there have been a couple of times where Barrage has been put in a third man, last man back situation that Rise has always gotten a solid touch out to buy time for his team. It's been a really solid performance overall for Barrage. They've really forced Oxygen to struggle for ideas on offense and how they can punch through this defense, because they just have not had any success.
And, you know, I feel like we do say it a lot where it's, you know, oh, you know, we hope that a team can start off really strong. That first goal, I feel like that has helped Barrage here in both the games that they've played. Is it just kind of proves to themselves, yes, we are here to play against Oxygen. We absolutely can take them down, especially for a team that have been on the cusp before in a regional. That's a big miss, though. And that's an open net for Farah, and not a good start for Barrage as Oxygen finally get on the board.
Real simple for that one. You just got to hit that. Huge miss for Rise, and not the kind of vibe you want on Barrage when you're this close to sweeping Oxygen. Nerves might start playing and affect Corelli when you do get this close. You know you have some, wiggle room to work with. You've built that lead, but then you're like, can we really get it? Can we really get to stage 2? I mean, we heard the interview with Libertas's coach, and he was sweating, and just hearing how elated he was for his team to make stage 2, when it makes me feel like they are under a similar position here, Barrage. You're feeling that pressure, and if they can deliver here with the last 2 games they delivered us, then it's solid. No more questions about it. But right now, Oxygen, they've struggled for offense, and maybe they could get some more of it, but it looks like Barrage has stabilized since that last goal. Another good challenge forces Chaussette to boom the ball downfield.
I mean, we need some sort of breakout performance here from an Oxygen player. I mean, right now, Jorby, we really haven't been saying any of their names. I mean, nothing's really happening for Oxygen. Up until this game, of course, they finally get a goal, and they have generated a lot more offense. These are the types of plays, though, that are so scary. That's another miss there from Rise off the back wall, and for all the great defensive stops that he's had, there's 2 now here in this game that he just couldn't get up to.
I feel like I cursed him. It was right after I got done talking about it that he missed the first one. But you can't let this shake you if you're Barrage. You just get down to the next one. Next kickoff, we'll get the next ball. But for Oxygen, now you start to find your form. This is where it could get out of control for Barrage. Oxygen love their long series, and trying to put a third shot on. Rise will grab this one, but Astral stole his boost, and 2 players collide towards him. It's starting to look a little cleaner for Oxygen, a little more confidence in their approach to the game, and a little bit more speed, Corelli. But Barrage, can they keep this ball on offense? We'll find out. And they did not, but they did get the ball back on defense. And Cynical's downfield, but Astral got there first. Still, it's set up here for Barrage. Astral gonna pass that out to Chaussette in midfield, but he had to pull off quick. Cynical looking for Rise. He couldn't find him. Barrage are having all sorts of issues now. Once they did get on offense, they can't connect on any of their passing plays. Hasn't looked the cleanest from them in game 3.
Oxygen have done a much better job of just getting the ball out of their end without a Barrage player instantly all over it. It's a good little passing play through the midfield for Barrage, but Oxygen have found a bit more form here. The structure of the team has looked a lot better. They're not diving in too much. They're not seeing double commits. They're not being beat by 2 players aren't being beat by 1 man on the ball. That's a big miss as Cynical has a free shot, and as soon as we start complimenting Oxygen, they have a huge blunder on defense, and Cynical takes a free goal.
I'm surprised Astral didn't challenge this ball. I thought that was one he should have just went for, but instead he stayed back. He was rotating back from midfield. He had already grabbed the boost, and by the time he was halfway to his net, the challenge from his teammate was already lost, and he could have came straight back out to that ball. Instead, he chose to stay back. Not sure that was the right call for Astral, but either way, it's a huge relief for Barrage. You stop Oxygen's attack and maybe get yourself set up for a tying goal. But time's starting to tick away slowly, and they definitely need a better handle on the ball here on defense if they have hope of it.
Must find a way out here in the final minute. Oxygen, obviously, making sure that doesn't happen. And Oxygen have had to play, while they've had a lot more offense in this game, they're still having to put up numbers on the defensive side as well. 6 saves for Oxygen here. That's a great demo by Farah. He almost got 1 more.
Good pressure and good possession overall by Oxygen. That's exactly what you want to see. You don't want to see them taking too many risks and put yourself in a bad spot as third man, especially with how Barrage have been able to punish you on a couple of those. Astral forced up high to make a save, and he does well to keep the ball close. Maybe he set something up immediately for Oxygen here as Farah takes the rebound out, Corelli, but they did well to kill a lot of time off the clock. But all you need is one for Barrage. They'll start from midfield.
That's not the best touch there from Cynical as it does pinch back towards his net. This is it. 20 seconds left for Barrage, looking to move on with a 3-0 if they can do it. And Oxygen trying to hang in there.
Ooh, nice shot, but not fast enough. Astral picked up the save right behind. Another shot denied by Chaussette. Who's next in the rotation? Cynical, but he lost to Chaussette. Here's Owali. He scored a couple. Oh, it barely stayed off the ground from Cynical, but it will drop to the ground. This will not end in a sweep for Oxygen. They will not go out this way. We'll play at least one more.
Oxygen fans taking a deep breath after that one, and I can't blame you after, again, very close game here. It took 9 saves out of Oxygen to just stay in it. But I think for Oxygen, you know, it's kind of the inverse. You know, I talked about for Barrage how you have to keep raising the level of play, and Oxygen, again, there hasn't really been that great of stuff from any of the players right now. I haven't really seen any standout performances from any 3 players. So for Oxygen, who's going to step up for them and really try and help pull off this reverse sweep that is looking very bleak? Even with that win, it was still very close for Oxygen. This is not some commanding win that they got.
No, I totally agree. I felt like a lot of Oxygen's opportunities came off of Astral carrying the ball long down the field, or just trying to force a challenge out of whoever, and then the second man just trying to read where that challenge is going to go. That feels like where the majority of the pressure has developed for Oxygen. Whether or not that continues to work in Game 4, or whether we even see them continue to do that, is yet to be seen. But that's how they got Game 3, and Chaussette almost started Game 4 with a bang. But no, it will not, and Owali will get the ball.
And let's remember that the goals that Oxygen got, while we can give credit for someone being there to put it away, were pretty big defensive misses by Barrage. And there's a good shot from Chaussette. But, you know, that's the difference so far. Is another great setup from Rise. Look at the shot as it goes down. Everyone from Oxygen was panicking as that play developed so quickly from Barrage.
Astral wants to be going supersonic 100% of the time. Hang on a second. Chaussette found the pass from Farah, but no shot will come out of it. But I've been sitting on Astral's cam for probably about like 6 minutes now. And if that dude is going slow, he's flipping, so he's going faster if he doesn't have boost to do it for him. And like on that last defensive stop that he had, he literally drove full speed into the net before he knew that the ball was going to come that way. He knew it was going to come off the backboard, but didn't check anything. It's just whoop, up off the top of the net. Yeah, easy save. I'm just here for it. It's just, it's interesting. And he's trying to be speedy here in the corner, but ends up losing that challenge. But it allows Oxygen a setup here for Farah and Chaussette. Farah finding Chaussette again. Astral clearing up business in midfield, and that bump gave Astral a chance at the back wall. He will try to collect his own boost. Oxygen extended stay here in the blue half.
I've been watching the Rise cam here as a free shot comes out from Chaussette. He's been boost starved here for a while and been bullied around a bit. Oxygen definitely taking notice of really what's been Barrage's star defensive player so far, as he's finally been able to pick up full boost.
This one will fall down into Astral, and he will pop the ball up for himself. He had tons of space, but he had Farah on the wing, and that's a little disjointed from Oxygen. If you had a couple of options, the demo gives Barrage nothing. They're denied a goal. They got screened by their own play.
Well, it was tough. Rise was already in his side flip when that came out, and it came off only into Rise on the flip, and so he accidentally put it wide. So it was tough for Rise to really make a play. So unfortunate circumstances, but a great setup from Barrage.
Astral coming the whole way down to make that challenge happen, but Rise will take it back to Oxygen's corner. Barrage set up for a long stay here on offense. Cynical will make one challenge happen, and now Farah has work to do for a clear. Owali makes it even more difficult, and Chaussette will throw the ball back out into space to Farah. That took Rise out of the play. Cynical only gave it back down to Chaussette, forcing Owali to get back quickly and make that touch. It was potentially dangerous 2 separate times on occasion there for Barrage, but we're 3 minutes of gameplay in with no goals left. Barrage might get one here. Owali winning one touch, but Chaussette will take it away again. Chaussette, some solid touches on defense to keep Barrage out of consistent opportunities. What a challenge from Awali.
Oh, it's a free
lane
shot.
for Cynical, and it's a roller. What a play from Awali to give Barrage the lead.
Yeah, he's just been such a nuisance for Oxygen right now. Even on that last play with Rise just missing the shot, he was the man to be the demo or downfield, that linebacker right now. And for Barrage, it has paid off multiple times. It's not just even in this game. There's been multiple games where he's just been running downfield and getting in the face of the defense. And maybe that's what's contributing to the difficulties of the defensive organization that we've seen from Oxygen right now, is they have really struggled to stay organized, and it might just be that interference from that first man downfield.
Farah wins a couple of balls for Chaussette. The shot's on target, and it's good! Oxygen were down, but not for long. They're back.
And they really needed this one. They needed Chaussette to step up, and look at this touch from Chaussette. Beautifully done in Rise. He went up that wall, and he just slowed him down enough where he couldn't get back to the ball fast enough. So great touch from Chaussette. Got to give him credit there. He's had all of Oxygen's shots with 6 here in this game, finally able to put one away.
Finally got one. Now Cynical. Barrage are intent to end this one in regulation. Here they are set up with Awali. Hard ball off the back wall. Cynical ends up hitting the player, not the ball. That's all right for them, though, because Rise got behind it. Takes a pot shot at Chaussette. And Awali grabs the ball again, forcing Astral wide out. I love that approach from Awali on that play. You know if you play it a little closer to Astral, he's going to win that challenge. Instead, he takes it straight out and gave him enough time to get back to the challenge. And look what it's given Cynical, another shot on net. Astral struggling to find a clear. Awali cuts him off again. Chaussette, can he get the clear route? No, Rise goes under him.
Oh, he got
Slips
him.
around Astral. Can he get by Pharaoh? Well, he popped the ball up back for Cynical. Back towards the net, but Awali did not like what he saw, and is back towards the third. Awali comes again. How have Oxygen not got the clear? Finally, Chaussette gets something off the ceiling and gets the second follow-up, but time running out, and they didn't get set up on offense. How could you, with how many touches it took to get out of your own half? It's not even over. Low off the backboard, another shot. Chaussette grabs it again, trying to keep this team alive.
Open.
Hang on, Rise turns around. Go! Barrage are up with 3 seconds remaining.
Again, another demo play from Oli right in the net, and Rise just has to turn around and whip this one into net. That has been the bread and butter for Barrage here in this series, and it might just win it for him.
Barrage, is it stage 2? Are Oxygen down, or will Farah give them one last
It's
breath?
Astral.
Here's Astral. 1.
Astral.
2.
Astral.
Oh, Rise denies Oxygen the goal, and they move to stage 2.
Wow. Wow, what a huge win for Barrage. Unbelievable stuff from them, and they never slowed down here in this series, and I think that's the biggest takeaway for Barrage. They played up to par throughout this series, even when they lost, right? You know, sometimes teams come in, they ride that high, they get the first couple goals against a big team like Oxygen, and then they start to peter out towards the end. Barrage just got better and better, and this was a fantastic game to qualify for Barrage, and they should be extremely proud of themselves here.
Yeah, from start to finish. It was no holding back from Barrage, no scared approach, no over passivity. It was Awali opening things up for this team. He got the first goal of this match, and then after that, it was that was all they needed to wash off any kind of nervousness they might have had going into this match. And they never really gave it back to Oxygen. Even in the game that Oxygen won, Corelli, we didn't feel like they had won it, more that Barrage had lost it.
I messaged 43, the coach of Barrage, before this. I asked him how he felt, or actually he just told me. He said, I'm a bit nervous but hopeful. And he just messaged me again and says, I'm shaking. So you know what this win means for him. They knew that they had a tough opponent. They qualify for stage 2. Huge day for Barrage.
Absolutely. Maybe a huge day for one more team. We got one more match to close out our very first day of the second European Regional. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.